So hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to talk about the fragment in Android Studio. So let's open our studio. So this is our last tutorial code, that is recycle view. Let me remove it first, then we will talk about what is fragment. So basically what we are going to do, simply remove only recycle view code and let other files as it is. Okay, so this is linear layout, and inside that linear layout, now let's talk about what is frame layout. So basically, sorry, fragment. Fragment is nothing but you can use only one screen, but uh, we can duplicate the activities. Or now consider in your application you are having a function or you having a screen, but you want to display different activities or different styles or different methods or different pages you created in your app. So in that case we use fragments. So also you have seen in multiple applications, like they have having side navigation bar. So in that case, also you can see or consider the WhatsApp app. So it has the chat, status and call section. These are three sections, but when you click on it, the screen will never change. Okay, only the part of that particular view, that is below these titles, it will change to you and it will navigate to you. So in our tutorial what we are going to do, we will simply create two buttons, and on the click of that buttons we will change the different fragments. So firstly we will create our buttons. So button match parent wrap content, I will name it as first, and set the text to first fragment. Okay, and yep, that's it for the button. Or we can adjust text size 15 sp, and simply we will copy the button, control C, control V, and we will name it as second. Okay, so our two buttons are ready. Why it's not showing here? Because let me check. Layout width, height, orientation, margin. Okay, never mind, it might be a glitch sometimes. So we will create the on click for those buttons, that is button first comma second, and we will find the id first. Okay, so first equals to find view by id r dot id dot first. Same for the second one, equals to r dot id dot second. Okay, then first dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener, and we will do same thing for seconds dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener, and yeah. Okay, so our on click functions are ready, and our first of all this kind of layout is ready. To implement the fragment or to use it in our activity, we need to use one tag, that is frame layout. As you can see, this is frame layout, and I'm going to give it as the match parent and match parent, and then give it some id that is frame layout. You can use fragment also, but generally frame layout is suitable for multiple types of fragments, so it is easy. So that's why I'm going with the frame layout. In case of any other application, or in case of particular your application requirement, you can choose whatever you want. So in this tutorial we are going to use frame layout. So now as you can see, the two buttons are the top of the activity, and then it contains the whole frame layout, and we will create two fragments. When we click on the first fragment button, by default it will be displayed, or we will display nothing by default. When we click on the first fragment, it will display the first fragment, and when we click on the second fragment, it will display the second fragment. Okay, so now how to create a fragment. So there are two types while creating any type of activity or fragment. You can simply right click on this uh, package, new, and here you can create Java class, and inside layout you can directly create the layout resource file, but you need to link those files. So rather than doing this, we have by default functions provided by Android Studio. So you can right click anywhere, like I am right clicking here, new, and in bottom you can see different types of by default created functions are provided by Android Studio. That is, you can create activity by here, the different types of activity, same like different types of fragment. So we will simply create a blank fragment, and then blank fragment. Okay, you can see the fragment. So we will call it as first fragment. Okay, and then we will finish. It will take some time. Okay, so what is this code? You don't need to worry about it. It is by default generated. We are needing some only uh, on create view method rather. Okay, so we only need this method. You can remove all other stuff rather than the constructor. Okay, you not need any constructor, so you can remove also this. Okay, you only need this kind of structure. Okay, so this is our Java file. Now you can see when you are working with activity, it extended with app compat activity, and when you are working with fragment, it is extended by fragment. And also there is a change in on create a sorry in main method. You can see there is method called on create. When the activity is created, the on create method will be called. Same like in fragment, unless on create, it creates the on create view method, which will be called when this fragment is created or displayed or called. So this is, so what is this? So it is a way of returning the layout file, that is inflator.inflate layout, our layout file name, and the container, and it is attached to root, it is by default false. Okay, so we will change our first fragment layout file. So as you can see also here frame layout is used, but we will use relative layout for it, and simply we will call it as first fragment, and we will assign it to the center and parent, sorry, center in parent, and we will pass true, so it will be added on the center of our screen. And also we will increase the text size, that is 20 sp. Okay, so this is our first fragment. Now we are coming to second fragment. So simply like same, new, right click on where you want to go, then fragment, blank fragment, and name it as second fragment. Finish. Also we will remove this code unwanted and unnecessary. Okay, so Okay, and then we will also do same thing about it, convert it to relative layout. Okay, just a second. Yeah, here we go. We will change the text to second fragment. We will increase the text size. So yeah, our okay, one more property, center in parent. So for relative layout, as you know, we need to use center in parent or align parent where you want to. Okay, so this is nothing but two layout files, and we simply displaying the text view that is say second fragment and first fragment. So to handle the backend of this layout file, you can write a code inside the first fragment for the first fragment, and for the second fragment part you can write it inside here. Okay, so these two fragments are done. Now coming back to main activity.java. So here rather by writing two different types, uh, two different times, we will simply create one method that is called public load fragment. And okay, sorry, return type void load fragment, and we will pass the fragment in it fragment. So it's showing some error. Simply click on that and alt enter. It will ask you which fragment. Okay, Android X.fragment. So it is by defaultly imported here. Okay, so then we will write the code to load the fragment. So to load the fragment, we need to use fragment manager, fragment transaction. So basically first we will create fragment manager, fm equals to get fragment manager, get fragment manager. Then we will, okay, what's showing error? Okay, it is because of the variable name or the object name we created. So let's create fragment transaction object, transaction fragment transaction equals to fragment manager dot begin transaction. Okay, that's showing an error. It's because of the version change. Currently Android X is used, but previously Android dot packages are used, so that's why it's sometime help you. But you can simply like where what I did, click on the error, you will see one bulb over here, and click, it will show some suggestion. Right click or click on that, it will correct the code for you, so nothing to worry about that. And after that we need to replace the fragment. So fragment transaction dot replace, as you can see. So the layout name of our, sorry, the id of our frame layout and name of the fragment, that is we are going to pass it's inside the function. So that's why Android, okay, we will change it to fragment Android X fragment and pass here object of fragment. required type Android app fragment, Android X. Okay, so we require Android app fragment. Never mind. So then we will commit our transaction. Fragment transaction dot commit. So this is the code for loading our fragment. So now to load first fragment, we will simply call this function, that is load fragment, and we will pass the first fragment like so. Okay, it is showing some error. Change first parameter. So I found out my mistake over here. So while you are using the current version, you need to use the Android X. So that is these import statement you must check: Android X.fragment.app fragment and Android X.fragment.app fragment manager. So rather than Android.app.fragment, you need to use this kind of, and with the help of the suggestion you can simply like type fragment transaction. You will see Android app 1 and Android X, so you need to select Android X.fragment.app, and all time where you using the fragment you need to import the same, that is Android X, so it will not show any error to you. And simply in our first button on click, we will call this method with the first fragment, and inside the second fragment, or when the click of second fragment button, we will call second fragment. So let's try to run our application. Let's see if it runs and works successfully. Otherwise we will check error if any. Okay, so our app is executed. When we click on first fragment, yep, first fragment is displayed, and when we click on second fragment is displayed. So now for better understanding, we will change the background color. So for first fragment, we will set the background color to teal 700, and we will set the text color to white. Okay, then for the fragment second, we will set background color of purple 500, and we will see text color to white, so we will see our text. And shift F10 to run our app, and let's check. Okay, so this is our main activity where we have created two buttons, that is first fragment, second fragment. When we click on first fragment, you can see the fragment is displayed, and when we click on second fragment, also the fragment is displayed. So in this way you might get idea how to use Fragment Android Studio. So let's repeat the code where we missed something. So we created two different buttons, that is first and second, and we just simply created the on click for the both buttons, and then we created one method named as load fragment and passed one parameter, that is fragment class. So this fragment is of Android X, remember that, and same for these all statements Android X is used. So for first statement, that is fragment manager, we get these fragment manager, that is with the help of this method called get support fragment manager. And after that we will use the fragment transaction of Android X, fragment transaction, and when with the help of the fragment manager object we will begin the transaction. And after beginning the transaction, we need to pass the layout where you want to display your fragment, and the name of fragment or class of fragment which you want to display. So here we displayed this fragment parameter, and simply we committed the transaction. And when calling the method, we used the function name and then new, and then the class which or fragment which we want to call. So that is first fragment and second fragment. So this is all about the fragment part in Android Studio. And also I'm going to conclude this series, that is basic Android development series, today, because I might think these some of the basic things you need to require or need to learn when you are developing an application. For the advanced type, we are thinking to continue a new series, that is for the special database, or rather for the Firebase part. So let me know in the comments if you want this series. We will continue with the Android development for advanced part, that is database handling and all the stuff. Also we will do Firebase series, and if you want, we will do one project of small project or mini project. We can implement all these things inside in it. So yeah, that's it for this video and the basic Android development series. Hope you like the video, and thanks for watching.